Thanks. Hey, everyone. So why talk about robotics today? I think it became very clear in all of the talks or a lot of the talks today that we are at an inflection point of technology. LLMs have laid the foundation for robotic foundation models. We have optical compute. Mature hardware supply chains are converging into a self-reinforcing flywheel because once general purpose robots are robust enough to be deployed in the real world, they will just collect endless amounts of real world data and continue to improve. This accelerated era of automation will fundamentally challenge the human role in labor. And I want to discuss labor not just as the economic trade of I complete a task and I gain a financial reward to it. I think it's part of the social contract. It's kind of representing the bridge between individual effort and collective value. Work can also mean opportunity. The ethic of work has built entire civilizations, and for many it has become an integral part of identity. And I'm not talking about the hustle culture bubble, but how many of us are here today only because we or the generations before us have worked hard, made sacrifices, so that one kid could be the first in the family to go to school, to go to university, gain experience abroad, and ultimately live that modern privilege of combining work and curiosity today. So Stefano mentioned in the beginning, we need to build 1 billion robots. So how does a world look like where we have quasi-unlimited cognitive and physical capabilities? In such a world, GDP basically does not depend on employment rates anymore, does not depend on population size anymore. The decoupling of productivity and labor will become even greater. And I'm saying even greater because it's not a new development. For example, in the US, since 1980, productivity grew 8 times as fast as wages already. Right? This means that the economic gains that were created compounded mostly with capital owners, not with laborers, leading to historic levels of income inequality already today. And once capital, so financial and hardware, becomes the dominant force or the dominant economic force, this will lead to an even more radical shift in the global economic order. So machines are going to take away our identity. We're going to be broke. Doesn't sound that good, but it's also not that straightforward. And there are 2 ideas that I want to share. One is, there's an economist at Oxford University called Carl Frey, and he says that if we don't find ways to share the productivity gains of AI with the middle class, which represents a large share or part of the voting population, there is a danger that the political reaction to these new technologies may slow down or even entirely halt their adoption. Because also, if we think about when machines do all the work, our instruments to distribute and share wealth, like unions, taxes, or wages, they basically diminish. The second idea I want to share is that at the same time, it's never been as easy to escape the matrix. So with AI, it has become so accessible for all of us to build ideas, to scale them, and basically to move from worker to owner. But also here, it's important to differentiate that access to infrastructure and data is still very concentrated, so it's still asymmetric empowerment, and not everyone is going to make the leap from worker to owner. So, sorry. So what does that leave us with? Will we enter an age of material abundance, but be faced with spiritual emptiness because we can't earn anything anymore? we might just be at one of these rare pivots in human history where the meaning of labor might change again. And yes, again, because it's also nothing new. For 95% of human history, actually, work was not central to human existence. Just with agriculture and the industrial age, we have become so obsessed with it. And looking into this room, also because time is up, I want to leave with a prompt because there are so many builders and backers at this very frontier to usher in this age of automation here. So how do we, if progress is really the goal for all of us, how do we leverage technology and navigate policy to, for human and planetary prosperity instead of escalating social stratification? And if we as a society, if we break up with labor, what fills the void? And maybe we can fill it with even something even bigger and more meaningful and nicer, and we can all be happier. Thank you.